Before the sun even rises, something ancient is already awake. At first, it looks like a drifting shadow across the savanna, slow, silent, and impossibly large. But then it breathes, it thinks, it decides. And if you scroll away now, you will miss the entrance to one of the most complex and emotional societies in the natural world. A society built not on instinct alone, but on memory, leadership, strategy, and bonds strong enough to outlive entire generations. This is the world of elephants, and almost everything we assume about them is only the surface of a far deeper story. As dawn breaks, the matriarch steps forward. She is not merely the oldest female, she is the living memory of her family. Inside her mind lies the history of every drought survived, every safe migration route, every hidden water source learned from ancestors long gone. When she lifts her trunk into the morning air, she is reading the landscape the way a scholar reads a library, decoding scents, heat, wind direction, and distant vibrations. Her decisions today will determine whether the herd lives tomorrow. Behind her, the herd forms a protective circle. Young calves stay tightly in the center. Teenagers mirror the movements of the adults. Experienced females take positions on the outer ring. This structure is not random, it is strategy. Elephants move like a coordinated organism, each individual aware of its place, its responsibilities, and its role during danger. Their formation shifts depending on predators, terrain, and resource scarcity. A social choreography refined over millions of years. Listen carefully. The deep rumbling beneath their chests is not noise, it is language. Elephants communicate using infrasonic frequencies that travel through the ground for miles, entering the feet of distant herd members and rising through their bones. With a single low vibration, a mother can call a lost calf, a leader can signal migration, or a sentry can warn of approaching lions. Humans once believed complex communication belonged only to us, but elephants have been holding conversations beneath our feet longer than human civilization has existed. A newborn calf wobbles into the world, fragile but determined. Immediately, the herd responds. Trunks reach out, brushing its back in reassurance. Older siblings block the sun. Aunts stand guard against hyenas, scanning from a distance. Scientists once labeled this behavior as instinct, but research now reveals something deeper. Elephants feel empathy. They comfort distressed companions. They pause to help the injured, and they grieve the dead with rituals that resemble mourning. But life on the savanna is unforgiving. The seasons tighten, grass fades, waterholes crack into dust. When drought takes hold, survival depends entirely on the matriarch's memory. The herd slows, uncertain. She hesitates for a moment, processing decades of experience, and then turns toward a direction that appears empty. But to her, it holds the echo of a riverbed visited long ago, when she was a calf walking beside her grandmother. The journey becomes brutal. Heat blurs the horizon. Calves stumble. Adults ration their energy with precision, yet no one breaks formation. Their trust in the matriarch is absolute. Every survival story within this lineage exists because generations before them followed their leader exactly this way. Then, without warning, she stops. Dust swirls around her as she digs. Slow at first, then urgent. The herd holds its breath. After minutes that feel like hours, water glistens beneath the sand, a hidden pocket preserved by memory alone. Relief ripples across the herd in soft rumbles. Gratitude, triumph, and renewed strength. This moment is not luck. It is intelligence, a passing of knowledge from one generation to the next, forming a chain of wisdom that stretches thousands of years into the past. And this is only the beginning. Because the deeper we follow these giants, the more we realize that elephants do not simply survive the savanna, they shape it. They engineer ecosystems. They forge alliances. They remember enemies. They mourn their dead. And their story, once thought simple, is one of the most profound tales of intelligence and emotion in the animal kingdom. The herd drinks quietly, but the relief is temporary. The water hidden beneath the sand will not last. Beyond the horizon lies the real challenge, a landscape changing faster than the elephants can adapt. For millions of years, they have survived droughts, predators, storms, and shifting continents. But now they face a threat unlike any before. A world where ancient knowledge is no longer enough. As the matriarch leads her herd away from the riverbed, her stride reveals a truth only she understands. She remembers a time when this route was safe. She remembers cool nights, abundant grass, and distant thunder promising rain. But memory is a double-edged blade. The paths of her youth are gone, replaced by scorching plains stripped bare by the relentless sun. Still, she continues, because a leader who hesitates risks losing more than direction. She risks losing the trust of every life following her. A young bull full of restless energy edges toward the front of the formation. He is growing into adulthood, driven by instincts that will eventually push him to leave the herd. But for now, he watches the matriarch with fascination, unaware that leadership is not built on strength, but on patience, memory, and sacrifice. His time will come, but today he must learn the rhythm of the herd, not to run ahead, but to read the land the way an elephant must. The heat deepens, dust coats their skin. A calf stumbles, exhausted. Instantly, two elephants stop beside it. One shields the sun, the other guides its trunk forward, urging the little one to rise again. Elephants rarely abandon their weak. Strength in their world is not measured by speed or dominance. It is measured by compassion. This is how they have survived as long as they have. Not by being the strongest, but by being the most united. Night falls, and with it comes a different kind of challenge. Elephants see the world through sound and vibration, and in the darkness, the earth becomes alive with information. The matriarch pauses, sensing faint tremors beneath her feet. Echoes of a distant gathering. Another herd is nearby. Normally, this would be a moment of reunion, a chance for families to reconnect after years apart. Elephants remember relatives even after decades, and when they meet, their greetings resemble joyful ceremonies filled with deep, resonant rumbles. But tonight, the vibrations tell a different story. The nearby herd is not celebrating. They are tense, restless, waiting. Something has disrupted their movements. The matriarch listens carefully, her mind piecing together the message. The land ahead is dangerous, not because of predators, but because water is becoming scarce. Two herds traveling the same path means conflict may be unavoidable. Elephants are peaceful by nature, but desperation can turn survival into confrontation. At dawn, the herd reaches a clearing where ancient baobab trees tower like silent guardians. Their roots pierce deep into the earth, storing moisture that many species depend on. The matriarch approaches one of the trees and presses her trunk against its bark, feeling for signs of life. The tree is dry. Even giants of the forest are struggling now. The herd must decide, continue forward into uncertainty or retreat toward the failing water sources behind them. For a moment, the matriarch closes her eyes. In that silence, she is not just remembering, she is calculating, comparing the present to decades of experience. Elephants do not choose blindly. They weigh risk, understand patterns, and act with intention. She turns north. The pathway is long and untested, but it carries a faint promise, a memory of seasonal winds that once carried moisture from distant mountains. The herd follows, trusting her judgment. Each step is heavy, but their determination is unbroken. Elephants have crossed continents. They have outlived ice ages. Their history is written into the earth itself. And yet, as they move, something extraordinary happens. A breeze rises, cooler than any they have felt in weeks. Clouds gather above the plains. Distant thunder murmurs like a forgotten song. Rain, the force that shapes their migrations, their survival, their very identity, is returning. The matriarch lifts her trunk, inhaling deeply. The herd senses it too. Energy ripples through them, a collective surge of hope. They press forward, guided by instinct, memory, and the wisdom passed down through generations. Their journey is far from over, but in every step they take, one truth remains clear. Elephants are more than the giants of our planet. They are the keepers of ancient knowledge, the architects of ecosystems, and the living memory of a world that is rapidly changing. Their survival is not just a story of nature. It is a reminder of how intelligence, compassion, and unity can reshape even the harshest landscapes. The rain begins to fall, and the journey continues.